Hello, my name is Jordan Butler and I'm an intelligence analyst in the Business Intelligence Services team at Dorset CCG. Welcome to this brief introduction to the Business Intelligence Services team's weekly SitRep or situation report, which aims to explain how to use the reports in Microsoft Power BI. I will also attempt to give you an explanation of each visual so that users can understand what they are looking at. So, what is the weekly SitRep? It gives a timely overview of the latest position to key providers included in the Dorset CCG Sustainability and Transformation Plan, or the STP. The report is based on provider level data which is supplied to us every week and incorporates all of the patients seen as reported by the providers. You will also get a look at NHS 111 calls and SWAST conveyances. Microsoft Power BI is a suite of business analytics tools that deliver insights through a number of different visuals that are immersive and interactive. The Power BI visuals can be tailored to your needs. Please contact the Business Intelligence Services team to discuss how we can develop this tool for you. Where can you find it? The weekly SitRep can be found on the Dorset CCG intranet page by clicking on Urgent Care and then Weekly SitRep as circled here. Weekly SitRep System Aggregated Position. Here is page 1 of the report where we want to give you a weekly update on the main performance target achievements of the Dorset system. Each gauge will show you the percent to target. The needle will change based on the provider selection, whereas the black line in the gauge will remain static for the system aggregated position. The red or green sections show performance against standard, so the red section is below the set target and the green section is above the set target. Below each gauge is the actual percentage. Currently, we have 4 gauges that show ED or MIU performance against a 95% standard, ED conversion rate against the national rate, bed occupancy against 85% standard, and occupied bed days lost against a 3.5% standard. You can use the drop-down menus that are in red circles to filter by 2 categories, by provider, for example Dorset County Hospital, and by week ending date, so you can see any position over the last 12 weeks. Each time a filter is used, the visualizations on the screen will change. Below the filters, you will see highlights for overall acute view, Dorset County Hospital, Poole Hospital, and Royal Bournemouth. By changing the week ending selection, you can view older highlights. In the bottom right of this page, we have added 2 links to view an SPC chart relating to the same data provided in the weekly SitRep, and the second link is to the UEC overview. Urgent and Emergency Care Weekly SitRep. On this page are many visuals that are interactive, and we will firstly look at 5 charts for ED and MIU attendances, emergency admissions, inpatient long stays, delayed transfers of care, and available bed days. You can use one of the 2 filters to alter the report to how you want to see it. You can filter by provider and by ED or MIU. This filter is specific just to the ED and MIU attendances visual. ED and MIU attendances is a stacked column for attendances by provider. You can also see 2 lines which show ED and MIU performance. Emergency admissions is a stacked column for admissions by provider. You can also see 2 lines which show ED conversion. Inpatient long stays for over 7 days and over 30 days is a line chart comparing the number of inpatient long stays. Unfortunately, Power BI has yet to include a double axis on line charts, but as soon as they will do, we will update this chart to make it much more useful. Number of delayed transfers of care for the current and previous year. We have also extended the previous year conversion rate by 6 weeks to give us historical information on what may happen during this next period. Available bed days is a shaded line chart showing available bed days against occupied bed days. There is also a card showing the 12-week occupied bed rate. Okay, so let's have a look at how you can manipulate the visuals on screen. So let's say that you want to see Dorset County Hospital's weekly SitRep. Click on the provider menu and select Dorset County Hospital. And you also want to see ED attendances on the first visual. Notice how the visualizations have now changed based on your selections. You can now see all the same visuals but dedicated to the provider that you have chosen. 3 of the visuals on this page have lines for the current and previous year. We have also extended the previous year lines by 6 weeks. This will give us historical information and can attempt to forecast what may happen during this next period. ED attendances year on year is a line chart that shows the trend of ED attendance for current year versus previous year. There are also 2 cards that will show a 12-week variance versus the previous year and the percentage variance for the same period. This will give a clear indication of whether the attendances are moving in the right direction. Emergency admissions year on year is a line chart that shows the trend of emergency admissions for the current and previous year. There are also 2 cards that will show a 12-week variance versus the previous year and the percentage variance for the same period. This will give a clear indication of whether the admissions are moving in the right direction. Dorset Healthcare Weekly SitRep. Now I will start off by saying that discussions are ongoing to incorporate Dorset Healthcare into the main weekly SitRep report, and updates will be given on this in due course. Okay. We have tailored these visuals specifically for Dorset Healthcare on the basis that some of their activities are not exactly the same as those in an acute trust. We have 4 visuals on this page. Inpatient long stays of 30+ days, which is a line chart showing a 12-week timeline for the number of inpatient long stays. Number of delayed transfers of care and the number of days lost can be compared. Rapid response admission avoidance referrals is a line chart showing a 12-week timeline for the number of referrals. Referrals and delayed transfers to immediate care will help you to compare the number of new referrals with the number of delayed transfers to immediate care, whilst also comparing which area these patients belong to. In the bottom right of this page, you will see the highlights for Dorset Healthcare. By changing the week ending selection, you can view older highlights. NHS 111 and SWAST. The first section of this page is dedicated to NHS 111 calls. NHS 111 incoming calls is a 100% stacked chart. Here you can see a breakdown of NHS 111 calls split by answered in 60 seconds, which is in green, answered in over 60 seconds in amber, and unanswered calls in red. Total calls answered is a timeline which shows current year versus previous year for the last 12 weeks. We have also extended the previous year's line by 6 weeks to give us historical information, and we can attempt to forecast what may happen during this next period. NHS 111 calls and performance shows the total calls answered against the 111 performance, so that you can see if performance is better or worse based on increases in calls answered. The SWAST section has 2 visuals, the first of which is for SWAST conveyances to providers. This counts the number of conveyances and shows you which hospital the patients have ended up. The second visual is for SWAST conveyances and shows the total number of conveyances and compares current year to the previous year. We have also extended the previous year's line by 6 weeks to give us historical information, and we can attempt to forecast what may happen during this next period. There is also a filter where you can select one of the 3 acutes and you can compare their individual conveyances for the current and previous year. Okay, so a reminder of where you can find it. The weekly SitRep can be found on the Dorset CCG bid intranet page by clicking on Urgent Care and then Weekly SitRep as circled here. If you have any questions, please contact myself, Jordan Butler, Livy Suttle, Kelly Gammons or Phil Dove, and we will be happy to help. We're also very interested in your feedback and comments, so please share them with us, and thank you for watching.